Hello again, it's Ryan with Salt Lake Wedding Reviews. Just recording another video for our brides. Today what we're going to discuss is having a high guest turnout at your wedding. You have two main goals. First is to get your guests to show up. Obviously you're going to have a lot of guests show up, but some brides send out 200 invitations and only have 100 guests show up. Hopefully these techniques will help you have a much higher turnout than 50%. And second, goal number 2 is to get your guests to stick around. It's very, very common for wedding guests to show up and to leave early, especially if you're having an open house type reception and your guests are free to come and go as they please. So we're going to talk about how to get them to stick around so that you feel like it's a big party all night and there are lots of people there. Remember, as we go through these steps, that comfort is key. If you can keep your guests comfortable, they'll be happy, they'll have a good time, and they'll want to stick around. First, do your very best to avoid busy days. And no, this doesn't mean you need to have your wedding on a Monday or a Tuesday night. It simply means to avoid having your wedding on the same day as a large sporting event, a charity event, or some kind of conference. This will mean less traffic and less distraction on your wedding day. Next is weather. If you want to keep your guests around all night, you need to make sure they're comfortable, and that includes not being too hot and not being too cold. If it's hot and sweaty, they're going to leave early, and if it's cold, your guests are going to leave early as well. Now, there are a few things you can do to keep them comfortable. If you're having a winter wedding, make sure your venue or your tent is properly heated, so when they walk in they immediately feel comfortable. Now if you're having a summer wedding and it's right in the middle of the summer, the hottest time of year, I know outdoor weddings are popular, but try to find an indoor-outdoor venue so that when your guests are outside and hot, they can go inside and cool down, and they can go in and out and stay comfortable. If you can do this, you'll see your guests stick around longer. Next is food. Food is essential because if your guests have nice full stomachs and you have yummy treats for them to eat, they're going to stay around and they're going to wait for more food. If they're hungry, they're going to tend to leave early. If your guests always have access to something to stick in their mouth that's tasty, they're going to stay all night long. Next is childcare. Nothing will end a party faster than hungry and tired children. If the children of your wedding guests start acting up, they're going to want to take them home. They don't want to be embarrassed with their crazy kids, so they pack up and leave early. If you want your guests to stick around, make sure you have something for the children to do. When it starts getting late, you can even consider having an area for the kids to go and watch movies and lay down and fall asleep. If you keep the kids occupied, their parents will stick around for the entire night. Now last but not least, keep the party progressing. Don't spend too much time on any one activity. If you're having toasts from the wedding party, make sure they keep them short and sweet. If your guests are tired of dancing, give them a break and cut the wedding cake and do all the things that you do. Have the first dance. Just make sure you're constantly moving from one thing to the next so your guests don't get bored at all. If you do these things, I promise you'll have a better guest turnout and your guests will stay longer. We truly hope your wedding is successful, and best of luck to you.